Take my hand, I say.
Shorty from Barbados. Did it hurt when you fell from heaven? Well, I can't fight your halo. Last time I seen a shorty like you, my crib had cable. I don't remember the last time that my crib had cable. Take my hand, I say.
Hey, shorty from Barbados. Did it hurt when you fell from heaven? Well, I can't fight your halo. Last time I seen a shorty like you, my crib had cable. I don't remember the last time that my crib had cable. Take my hand, I say. Shorty from Barbados. Did it hurt when you fell from heaven? Well, I can't fight your halo. Last time I seen a shorty like you, my crib had cable. I don't remember the last time that my crib had cable. Take my hand, I say. Hey, shorty from Barbados. Did it hurt when you fell from heaven? Well, I can't fight your halo. Last time I seen a shorty like you, my crib had cable. I don't remember the last time that my crib had cable. Take my hand, I say. I make music, no label. I get bread, no label. She takes me like baby. Once he saying I'll take it. How could that pussy undertake it? I met a bitch and she from Jamaica. We haven't talked in a long time. I still remember just how I ate you. Beat up the batter like I'm a baker. Skin soldier like I need a baker. Ground time, baby, I ain't a skater. My time, I cannot do the later. I'm about to be her father, she call me Vader. But my heart, yeah, you know, kinda hater. She ain't really want fuck, girl, you can't paint it. She in my canvas, I had a painter, oh. Take out them jail like, oh, wow. Boy, nigga, but you ain't too soft. She stands so cold, she need 2 sauce. Jumping in just like a pool now. So hot, baby, I need a cool down. I was hot, but you know I'm cool now. Got niggas that hot, but it's true now. Move saucy, but I got the juice now. Bitch, yeah, I'm like AD. Yeah, I'm cool, nigga, AC. Got bitches on me, LADs. Put in work, I'm not lazy. 99 pounds like Jay-Z. I'm in the water like waist deep. Chosen gotta be safety. Fat cake, give me that cake, please. Shorty from Barbados. Did it hurt when you fell from heaven? Well, I can't fight your halo. Last time I seen a shorty like you, my crib had cable. I don't remember the last time that my crib had cable. Take my hand, I say. Hey, shorty from Barbados. Did it hurt when you fell from heaven? Well, I can't fight your halo. Last time I seen a shorty like you, my crib had cable. I don't remember the last time that my crib had cable. Take my hand, I say.
Shorty from Barbados. Did it hurt when you fell from heaven? Well, I can't fight your halo. Last time I seen a shorty like you, my crib had cable. I don't remember the last time that my crib had cable. Take my hand, I say.
Hey, shorty from Barbados. Did it hurt when you fell from heaven? Well, I can't fight your halo. Last time I seen a shorty like you, my crib had cable. I don't remember the last time that my crib had cable. Take my hand, I say. Shorty from Barbados. Did it hurt when you fell from heaven? Well, I can't fight your halo. Last time I seen a shorty like you, my crib had cable. I don't remember the last time that my crib had cable. Take my hand, I say. Hey, shorty from Barbados. Did it hurt when you fell from heaven? Well, I can't fight your halo. Last time I seen a shorty like you, my crib had cable. I don't remember the last time that my crib had cable. Take my hand, I say. I make music, no label. I get bread, no label. She takes me like baby. Once he saying I'll take it. How could that pussy undertake it? I met a bitch and she from Jamaica. We haven't talked in a long time. I still remember just how I ate you. Beat up the batter like I'm a baker. Skin soldier like I need a baker. Ground time, baby, I ain't a skater. My time, I cannot do the later. I'm about to be her father, she call me Vader. But my heart, yeah, you know, kinda hater. She ain't really want fuck, girl, you can't paint it. She in my canvas, I had a painter, oh. Take out them jail like, oh, wow. Boy, nigga, but you ain't too soft. She stands so cold, she need 2 sauce. Jumping in just like a pool now. So hot, baby, I need a cool down. I was hot, but you know I'm cool now. Got niggas that hot, but it's true now. Move saucy, but I got the juice now. Bitch, yeah, I'm like AD. Yeah, I'm cool, nigga, AC. Got bitches on me, LADs. Put in work, I'm not lazy. 99 pounds like Jay-Z. I'm in the water like waist deep. Chosen gotta be safety. Fat cake, give me that cake, please. Shorty from Barbados. Last time I seen a shorty like you, my crib had cable. I don't remember yet the last time that my crib had cable. Take my hand, I say, baby, shorty for Barbados. It hurt when you fell from heaven, well, I can't find your halo. Last time I seen a shorty like you, my crib had cable. I don't remember yet the last time that my crib had cable. Take my hand, I say, shorty for Barbados. It hurt when you fell from heaven, well, I can't find your halo. Last time I seen a shorty like you, my crib had cable. I don't remember yet the last time that my crib had cable. Take my hand, I say, hey, the shorty for Barbados. It hurt when you fell from heaven, well, I can't find your halo. Last time I seen a shorty like you, my crib had cable. I don't remember yet the last time that my crib had cable. Take my hand, I say.
Lennox, you crazy?
What's going on? Coming
Hey,
live from
what's up?
Tatooine.
Live from
Live.
Tatooine.
I got the moisture evaporators behind me. Just
Yes.
filled up my water, and I'm ready to go. If you
Let's
are.
go. All right, we got Mr. Jestaban in here. What's up, bro? How you doing?
So,
Today, we are watching Obi-Wan Season 1, Episode 1 and 2. Right now, we're going to do Episode 1. I am excited. We're going to sync these up. How we do. Matt is our resident Star Wars expert. It's got all the goodies, and I am just a schmuck who likes to watch things explode. I'm excited for this series. So we have seen Episode 1 and 2, but we just want to watch it together. Going forward, we will have Episode 3 live action, ready to rock and roll. Matt, anything you got for the people before we start this thing?
oh man, just like with all the Star Wars stuff going on right now, for it to have been like 15 years since we saw Ewan McGregor play Obi-Wan, like this has been a dream of a lot of ours for a long time. I remember it was almost like 5 years ago where the whispers of it being a movie and then it being canceled and it being a TV show and then it being delayed, and for it to finally kind of come with almost like so much unexpected power behind it
Yep.
is just, man, all the Star Wars fans are just feeling the vibes right now.
Way
And,
up.
I'm just excited to see more of it. So let's get this
Man,
thing started.
and Episode 1 was pretty tight, but like once you guys get to Episode 2, maybe you're in for a
Sheesh,
treat.
man.
You're in for a treat. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, when it's asking to skip a recap, there's no shot I'm skipping this.
Yeah, don't skip the recap. Get back to it. I'm just trying to connect my AirPods here
Of the one who will bring balance to
so
the
we don't get
force.
hit with the
man.
copyright cheese.
You believe it's this
True.
boy,
Yeah, man.
Anakin Skywalker? Meet Obi-Wan
It'll
Kenobi.
connect in a sec.
Clouded this boy's future is.
The
Oh,
boy
come
is
on,
dangerous.
come on.
They all sense it. Why can't you?
An
Can
apprentice
you pause
to
it?
have, Qui-Gon.
Yeah,
Impossible
go ahead.
to take on a second.
Obi-Wan is ready.
I am.
Wait, stop the
start-
counter.
Yeah, go ahead. Start back from the jump.
From where I paused it or from the start?
No, from the beginning. We'll go back to the beginning.
Okay, cool. All right, 3.
Hold
Two.
on. Let me just get this connected. I don't know why this. Like, I fucking hate technology. It's like,
Yeah, it's playing back through. I think I'm hearing the echo through my.
yeah. Hold on, sweetheart. We'll get there. We'll get there. Come on. Yeah, I mean, I hate these stupid AirPods and Apple, just in general. I hate both. All right.
No,
I think we should be good. It looks like it says connected. Let's go back to the very beginning. All right, here we go.
All right.
And 3, 2, 1. Oh, did you press play?
Oh, I thought you were pressing it. Wait, start over.
Jesus Christ. All right.
All right, am I saying 3, 2, 1, go? It's
All
just,
right.
it's just back on. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. You do it.
All right. Here we go. We're gonna start this puppy in 3, 2, 1, and go.
You can tell it's been a while since we've live streamed. But
Yeah.
oh,
Silly
man,
guy.
long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Just classic.
God damn, dude. Like I did not. I don't think any of us expected to start off with this kind of recap of the prequels.
No.
But I think it was
perfect.
that's-
Well done. And like, with all due respect to the sequels, I mean the prequels, like a lot of people were kind of poo-pooed on them a bit, but this took the best parts to me and just laid out the story and what we loved about it. There was a lot of, for me, there was a lot of sauce in the prequels, a lot of extra, like, that kind of took away from what we really needed to see, but this just did a great recap. Darth Maul is one of those characters, as a kid, I never understood, and as a casual Star Wars fan, I'm like, this character looks so amazing. How does he just leave? It just...
That's the thing, though. You gotta catch up. You gotta catch up, because times have changed since this movie came out. And I love the prequels. I kept it no secret on this channel.
Yeah.
It was a prequel baby. So this right here has just been this is like the show hasn't even started yet, and I'm already like,
you're ready. You're pumped.
Yeah.
Master Yoda.
The only thing that was interesting to me about this recap is it's very modern in like its music choice. I kind of wish they did
Yeah.
more Star Warsy music with it.
That was something I noticed too. But it didn't necessarily take away, like, because they did that. Like, one thing I do with Marvel a lot, and I suggest Star Wars fans to do as well, is any kind of prejudgment you have or prejudice coming into these things, just let it go and just try to go with the ride.
Greater than any Jedi. Ugh. Oh man.
Padme. Bad Bay.
To me, Revenge of the Sith is the best Star Wars movie.
Yeah. Like, people want to argue all the time about, the prequels. The prequels can't be, the worst when they had the Revenge of the Sith. It's just...
And prequels are very underrated.
Very quotable.
I don't think anymore. I think a lot of the... I have the high ground. I think a lot of the prequels have kind of come back into favor.
Yeah, I mean, things do get better over time when you start. Like I said, we said before the stream, I was like, the older, like when you're younger, sometimes you look at things with jaded eyes. Then you get like a little bit older, you start listening to what other people think you should like, and you let that kind of like shape what you think. And then when you get older, you're like, you know what? No, I actually did like that, and that's what we try to do here, man. Just be yourself. Don't let other people tell you what you like and don't like.
For sure.
That rise is always fire from Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah, they really like dug into a lot of these important scenes.
Mm-hmm. It's funny you were critical of the modern music. I thought it actually elevated these scenes personally, because it gave it like this emotional like send off.
Yeah. It's so cool that they brought him back.
It is.
Years later.
Who are you talking about specifically?
Owen Lars.
Yes.
The guy who played Owen. I forget Joel Egerton. That's his name, I think.
Yeah. He's in a lot of stuff.
Here we start. I love
Ironically, go ahead.
This little intro. I love what they've done for Disney Plus and how it changes for every type of show.
Yeah. I was gonna say, ironically, I feel like Joel Egerton has probably done the most out of these folks since.
Oh, for sure.
we go.
The skyline, of course.
The start here is a very interesting choice, and I liked it.
Woo! Every time, dude.
The younglings.
Yeah. To see live action Order 66, like almost 20 years later, with like actual clone troopers,
Yeah.
is insane. Like it really captures the grittiness of it. Like this is fucking nuts. And this long shot of down these hallways.
Mm-hmm.
The choreography too. Just the sheer terror of everything that's happening.
Yeah. So when I first watched this, like in the back of my head, I was thinking like, what happened to these little younglings? Are one of these little younglings like still out in the world? I think one thing that makes me think a lot about too is the decisions that they make. Like the sequels have to be kept in mind, the sequel trilogy. So you kind of feel like, okay, well, we know that none of those characters are like that important. They probably will be important, but there's not like an individual in there because of the sequels.
Yeah, I think a lot of people forget that the intention behind filmmaking, and that that beginning scene isn't just to establish like, oh yeah, the Jedi were killed. Like something is going to happen with those Padawans.
Correct, exactly.
Or those younglings. Like it's been theorized certain things about them. We can discuss that later, but.
You can get into it.
I want to focus on this. The streets of Tatooine.
You can't just drop that little nugget on us. Come on. You better not forget it later.
I won't. Woo! First of all, this is filmed so well.
Mm-hmm.
Already, just.
Yeah, definitely shot like a movie.
Widescreen, yeah.
So it's funny because when we talk about like Marvel, and before you start trashing on Marvel, like we asked like why are they doing this 6 episode format versus the movies or whatever? That if you do 6 episodes, it gives you more budget for each episode to make it look like a movie. I think Star Wars does that a little bit better than Marvel. And I think that Marvel needs to take a few lessons from that.
Star Wars is very cracked. I think what they've done well is like the use of practical effects. I think Marvel relies on a lot of CGI. So this before us is the Grand Inquisitor.
Mm-hmm. And do we know him before this series? Before the series starts?
Yes, he is the main antagonist of season 1 of Rebels. And that is
and what is Rebels? And what is Rebels?
Rebels, it's a spin-off animated series that takes place after this.
Mm-hmm.
It takes place between bridges the gap between 3 and 4 of the beginning of the rebellion. The dude with the little hat thing is the 5th brother.
Yep.
Who is an Inquisitor, and that is our new character, Reva. So I'll let them take it away. They'll do some of the explaining. But I can reiterate for the
is the Rebels series? Is it like? Would you call it like high quality?
I personally haven't actually watched all that much of it.
Mm-hmm.
Hunt themselves. Personally, I didn't like the downgrade in animation quality. But with all the new content coming out, I'm actually gonna start watching it this weekend. So. Ooh.
I love this little part too. The Jedi can't help who they are. Their compassion leaves a trail.
Yeah.
His delivery is very just. It bridges that prequels gap in modern too.
Yeah, I think his dialogue is great. What's interesting about it is the actor came out and said that he didn't watch Rebels to learn about the character, didn't want to be influenced, and I was worried about that. But a lot of people that have watched Rebels have actually praised his performance so far. They say that he's generally captured his like menacing depiction.
Yeah, I go back and forth about that because I'm like, it's already there for you, so like take from that to serve the fans, but also as an actor you should be able to have that freedom to kind of make the decisions and choices.
Exactly. And I think kind of getting a list of traits from a character is enough sometimes, depending on the actor.
Agreed. And also sometimes the previous delivery wasn't, the best either, so.
They got the teeth too. He looks so much better than he looked in the trailer. A lot of people were complaining about the look.
Yeah.
That's a fucking Safdie, brother.
Josh Safdie.
That's too funny.
The legend himself. He's so good. Oh, jeez. I love this subtle detail to the show that a lightsaber is like a sword. Like if it hits you, I feel like for like us casual fans, when you think about a lightsaber, you're like, it hits you, you're dead. Like because that's what we've always seen is like these slices and slashes. So to see her just barely touch the skin, I love that.
You saw that the Grand Inquisitor stopped her. She was gonna cut through.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying like to just see like it can slice without killing is.
Yeah, it can injure. It can.
Yeah.
It just its mere presence near you can injure you.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people and that's the thing why I think that they played well with the Inquisitors, which are Imperial Jedi hunters essentially. A lot of Inquisitors are former Jedi younglings or Padawans that have been that were captured and turned into Jedi hunters, trained by Darth Vader in the ways of the Sith, which this show is going to get into. But you see, like the dark side makes people very ambitious and angry, and it leads to a lot of like they don't really collaborate well because they're all competing for power.
Of course, yeah. And that young actress there was Moses Ingram. She was in The Queen's Gambit, if you've seen that as well. And she absolutely dominated in Queen's Gambit. Like, she was like a fan favorite.
So I absolutely loved seeing this for the first time. Like, I just love when they go into these little tiny details that make this world feel alive. Like they're like essentially salmon farmers,
right?
Tatooine.
Yeah.
I imagine that place isn't too far off from where I'm staying currently. Yeah. But just like this little detail of this giant, like almost like a land manatee just like died, and then this business showed up and they're just cutting up this meat.
Yeah.
And imagine how much meat they can like in this universe, like a beast that large. Imagine how many people this can feed.
Right. Yeah. One more comment about Moses. She was also in The Tragedy of Macbeth, so definitely give her work a look if you're enjoying Reva so far. I was joking with Matt off screen about this. I was like, I love how Star Wars is always like in the future and past. And it's funny how it's like it's so futuristic, but they like have people like manually cutting up the meat to create jobs.
Look at the freaking gong droid is used to clock in time. I love it.
Wait, what was that called?
The little droid that he's doing the time checker. It's called the gong droid. You'll hear because it makes it sound gonk.
Gong droid. That's funny.
It's everyone.
Gonk.
Everyone loves it. Seeing Ewan again, bro. Like.
Oh yeah.
Fuck.
And that's what's I think very fascinating about getting this series is a lot of the actors who were in that prequel series, they have the chops to act, and I think this delivery and some of these performances we'll see going forward, they'll definitely get to execute that. So this is going to be an exciting series.
Yeah, they're gonna have having more time. I think that's gonna be so key for this. So we saw Obi-Wan working on the line, and like that's a great example of what you just said is like you're gonna get to see some of his character traits just from him doing simple decision making. Exactly, yeah. And him saving meat for his little, I forget what this alien's called, but his
Yeah.
little camel.
Yeah.
Like, that's something Obi-Wan would do.
Of course, yeah. Very Robin Hood-esque.
And I love, like, in the beginning of, for the fans at home, whenever you watch or if you're interested in writing for movies, the beginning always establishes, like, the main character's day-to-day. And, like, getting a chance to see, like, what does a day-to-day of a Jedi Master in hiding look like?
Right.
And this, for me, like, I know we spent a lot of time on Tatooine, especially with these Disney Plus shows, but
Yeah.
there's something I still, I mean, I loved it enough to get a timeshare here, clearly.
Timeshare.
It's beautiful just to kind of see. It's such a simple world, but it's the people and how they interact with it that make it so unique.
That's filmmaking 101 is you never, like, when you have a complex universe and world, you got to build rules. You got to create certain, like, decisions that have to, like, exist in order to create those rules. And when you have a simple world where it's like, look, these are indentured servants, they're poor folk, and you just get to watch them live their life. I think that's where you get to get the best character development.
The food materializing, that reminds me of Force Awakens with her Rey's, like, instant bread.
Right.
But that's a cool detail. Fucking Jawas! I love Jawas so much.
They're one of the biggest consistencies I've noticed as a fan across every project, which is just awesome. And ironically, I feel like they aren't talked about enough, and they probably aren't even, like, appreciated enough inside of the universe,
Yeah.
They don't make these anymore.
Freaking Jawas.
He's got a tribe to feed. I love them in
Little swindlers. Is your playback speed slowing down at all? Mine's, like, going in slow motion sometimes.
No. Hello, Carly.
I love this. I love that line. Cleaning costs extra. I fucking died when I first watched that. The humor, the subtle humor. I love. They really brought back Obi-Wan sarcasm.
I think that's a very important thing to say that is. I think the reason this series works, the reason my Mando works, and some of the others, is it doesn't take itself as serious. And I think with the originals and the prequels, for me as a fan, I've always felt that, like, there were moments where they were trying to be funny, but then also very serious, and sometimes that didn't work for me. And I think in the TV shows it's worked a little bit better. Carly says, I love the background on your screen, Matt in the Star Wars world. Yeah, Matt's on Tatooine. He's got property out there. He's a realtor.
It's a lot cheaper than in Massachusetts, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, that's facts.
Oh, this scene.
I love how this is lit as well. When I watch this and you guys hear me comment, you'll definitely hear me have more of the film critique and the plot and the cinematography, and Matt will give you that heavy history.
Just the way this is cut, man.
Yeah, and see that.
I love how they weren't afraid to use footage.
So that's what I was gonna say. Like,
and it's from every one of them. For
someone who hasn't seen, like, the prequels, I think if you watch this, you're getting enough to know that was his history. I'm dying to watch this series with someone who hasn't seen it. Just to, like, kind of get their take to see, like, does it still work?
I'm calling out the Qui-Gon.
I know. What's interesting is we see and maybe you can explain this to us, is so in the Star Wars sequel, Rey is actually able to communicate with, like, the past masters. Is the reason Obi-Wan can't hear is because he no longer believes?
I think it's never belief. There's two things here.
Mm-hmm.
One, Yoda, the ability to commune with past Force ghosts, wasn't hadn't really been common at that point yet. I think there's a deep history with actually becoming one with the Force. And there's within Star Wars, between the Jedi and the Sith, there's always been a dichotomy between immortality, in a sense, where it's like the Sith try and find power to like they want to possess power within the Force in a selfish manner. But at that point, they're always going to die off at some point. So the Sith always look for a means of immortality to extend their life, almost kind of like defying, like, you know, the natural order of things, where it's like Jedi, by following the will of the Force and becoming to then become one with the Force in the end, is to accept passing on to the next life, but you were granted the ability to live on within the living Force. So this ability at this point in time had not been mastered.
Got it.
In the original, no, not in the original, but in the recap, that's something Yoda mentions, and that's why Qui-Gon's. I theorize Qui-Gon's gonna have a role in this. Also, I talked over that, but seeing young Luke obviously pretend to drive a pod racer like his father is a beautiful thing to see. And didn't mention it before, but this toy, the Skyhopper, was a prop that Luke uses in A New Hope. And to hear now that it is Obi-Wan that gifted it to him is like my fucking heart, bro.
Yeah.
This is like fucking 40, 50 years later. Like,
that's
bro.
that's a nice little detail that they added in there.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And it's those little things that like that they can go back to at any time and like write in. And adds just a whole new meaning to something that seems so small. That's what I love about Star Wars. Uh-oh.
Josh Safdie.
She's like, bro, I was at the temple with you, dog.
He's like, I was one of your shooters.
My name is Ben. Yeah, I love how he goes by that.
Please.
He's like, bro, you don't know what I've been through, dog.
Obi-Wan's like, bro, I'm about to hit the bottle, man. You don't know. This has been stressful. Please.
Bro, no one has anywhere to go. Get the fuck out of here. Go hang out with our Tuskens.
That's so sad. That's so disheartening. I will say, when I saw that line, I had PTSD to like the sequel trilogy where like Luke's just like, I'm not helping you, and I'm like, oh God, please don't. I hope this isn't like.
I think the difference. I won't talk too much about it, but the difference is we've seen the trauma that Obi-Wan has gone through.
Yeah.
We didn't get to see the trauma that Luke went through.
No, I'm not even criticizing what we saw in the sequel. I'm just saying more so like I got PTSD to mean like, oh God, like I really hope that like we don't go through that thing again where we don't like.
No, but what I'm saying is that I feel first of all, Alderaan. I did not fucking expect to see this.
No.
This shit right here, bro, I'm telling you, I was geeking the fuck out.
Yeah, no, this to me was like, wow, I was not expecting this. Shout out to the J. Ruse Theories, just sub to us. I appreciate that. Thank you for coming out here and watching episode 1 with us. We make new content every single week, all types of content, Marvel, Euphoria, Studio Ghibli, you name it. Dude, I have always been a big fan of, like, what was going on with Princess Leia. I felt like she did not get her justice served. To see this little... Oh, this is just adorable.
Sweet Mellows. I was, like, worried at first. I was like, what the fuck happened to her? Is this... It's too good.
Shout out to NWJ for the subscription. Appreciate that. This is like the greatest. This is like one of the greatest things I've seen in like 27 years of life.
This made my heart fucking sing, bro. I'm telling you, I did not come into this. I was like, oh, are we just gonna spend our entire time on Tatooine?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know how much we can really get from the Ben protecting Luke thing.
Yeah.
How much is really gonna happen there? But like, bro, for them to hide this too.
Oh my God! Like that was it's perfection. Really was just perfection, man.
And the music too is very uplifting. Cheery. I love how everyone has a droid buddy.
This little girl absolutely crushed it, nailed it on the dot. Like, so good, man. With all due respect, I think this is the performance that we thought Millie Bobby Brown was giving us in Stranger Things season 1.
Oh my God, I just do just that little bit about like just showing how knowledgeable she is.
Oh,
stuff,
she's
being able to
smart.
notice the faders, to know the pirates, and just kind of like Glorag.
What's a Glorag?
I believe somebody mentioned. I believe it's a beast that shows up in one of the prequel movies. I'll have to reference that.
I love this little moment here. It's just like taking the iPad from the little kid. It's just amazing.
It's very funny.
I'd miss you.
And all I ever do is wait.
Oh my God.
Funny.
I love how witty and like quick she is. It's so perfect.
This is
Yeah, you know that's a lie. I promise I won't do it again.
I fucking cackled, bro. So fucking good.
Just takes it back. Like I don't care.
I like the mother's performance too.
Oh yeah, the mother does awesome.
Who's this
NWJ, have you seen episode 1 yet? We've seen episode 1 and 2. We wanted to get on here and watch with others again and just enjoy it. Like, it's awesome. I loved it so far. And just for context, Matt is an absolute Star Wars nut. I am a Star Wars fan. I like to watch the movies, the show. I haven't dived into the extra world stuff. But this content right here that we're getting, like, this makes me, like, if they had comics, I would just, like, go straight through.
They do.
Like, in between this period right here, like, I could watch Obi-Wan just all day. This is awesome.
They actually have Marvel comics with Star
You mean
Wars.
Star Wars comics, yeah.
No. Marvel does the Star Wars comics.
Oh, I did not know that.
I think so.
So I have the Marvel comic subscription. I have not seen that the Star Wars section.
Oh shit. Uncle Owen. What the fuck, Uncle Ben saying this?
Uncle Owen. Uncle Ben.
Well, technically, Ben Kenobi is Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
No shit. I'm getting some playback. Like, slow down.
You'll be all right.
I like that he says that.
I like too that like Obi-Wan is like still set on like training him. He takes that shot.
Hey, ooh.
NWJ says this will be even better than The Mandalorian. I do agree. I do think so.
I think so. I think it's very possible.
And it's also fair too because it's like The Mandalorian was the stepping stones for them to get here. Now they know.
Oh
boy.
It's the fifth brother.
When the Inquisitors showed up here, I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty nervous because I was like I didn't know like where we were heading, obviously, and I was like, oh god, how is he gonna get out of this situation?
Facts.
There's also something really interesting too to see like Obi-Wan, like one of the most powerful Jedis ever, like kind of being like scared, like
yeah. I kind of like.
Go ahead.
It's been a controversial topic, but I've really enjoyed Reva's performance so far.
Wait, controversial?
Yeah, people, there's a
What's there to be controversial about? She does a great job here. It's crazy.
we gotta think about part of this. First of all,
Jesus!
that fucking scene was like, what? And for them to be like dark like that, I was
Yo,
like,
still, I mean, I already saw it and I was still just like.
No, for me, I'm like, all bets are off in the series. Anything's fucking possible if she's just cutting off people's hands.
Yeah.
I was scared for Owen here. I was like, sheesh.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people like think she's, I don't know. The internet. There's a certain minority of Star Wars fans that.
Oh wow, a certain group of minority Star Wars fans don't like a minority performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, shocking. NWJ says, I haven't seen the Book of Boba Fett, but I heard it was bad.
It's crazy. He said, do you have a Jedi on that farm you're thinking about Obi-Wan?
No.
But it's really fucking Luke, and you're
Right.
like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Just the multiple meaning of this dialogue.
Yeah.
Like,
for the fans at home, we apologize for Matt's profanity. Like, Jesus.
sorry.
Reel it in a little bit.
A woman just got her hand cut off, and you're mad that I'm.
No, I know. What do you think? NWJ says he hasn't seen the Book of Boba Fett. Matt.
Oh man, sorry. That delivery of what she said. You think you could protect her from me? Oh.
He says, I haven't seen the Book of Boba Fett yet, but he heard it was bad. Do you think that he should actually go back and watch it, or?
I think you should. I think bad is a little strong.
Mm-hmm.
I think it didn't meet a lot of people's expectations because of they had a specific set going into it. But I think kind of getting to know the Boba Fett character. I think there's some the high points in that show are really good. The low points are pretty low. But I'd say episode 4, 5, and 6, I believe, the ones that involve some other characters really add to the direction that Star Wars is going in. I think it's very it's worth it, and it doesn't eat up too much time in your day. So
yeah. I like here that there's this, as you mentioned earlier, there's this sort of like relationship of hierarchy here of like who's in charge, but also just like you can tell that like they cannot work together as a team. Like there's no sort of choreography whatsoever. Yeah. He's steaming here. He's furious because it's like that's not what we planned.
His performance is fantastic.
Mm-hmm. I know him from something else. I can't figure out what yet.
And like that is just like,
and that's too, again, that little line about they've been looking for him for the last 10 years. Like that's enough to let you know, okay, there's some history here without having to like mouth off about, oh, we were on this planet and then that planet and you know.
And just to see how like a lot of people, the criticisms that I don't agree with have been that she's annoying. She's like loud and kind of like seems a little too angry and aggressive about stuff, but like
again,
it's
classic.
all tied. Also, this line. I didn't do it for you. That was like, and it's so simple. It wasn't. It didn't have to be anything extra. I didn't do it for you. I did it for the boy. It's like no. He just said I didn't do it for you.
Yeah.
To the point.
Yeah, NWG. A lot of folks have preferred the George Lucas Star Wars over the Disney, but you know, like I said at the beginning, is I would strongly encourage you, whether you're a Marvel fan, Star Wars, whatever, try to just go into these things open-minded, give them a shot. You know, it is tough when you really are attached to these things, but you have to realize too, it's been so long. They're trying to correct some of the mistakes of the past while also correcting some of their current mistakes. So it's a balancing act.
Yeah, I definitely think in the newer... Oh, this line... Oh my god, so cute. Seeing Bail Organa back, the same actor from the prequels, makes my heart sing. Seeing him in Rogue One was wonderful. That was a bright spot. It was like a beautiful moment there. But to go back, I think with Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau being more involved in the newer Star Wars content, I think it's capturing a lot of the same spirit of George
Mm-hmm.
Lucas. I think there's a lot of attention behind what Star Wars represents. The way
All she does get to do is wave. You never finished your point about Reva. You were saying that people were kind of complaining to say she's like,
but just to
oh,
see that-
annoying, and
But she's a very determined character. She has a mindset, a goal, very specific, but we don't know what it is yet. We need to get time to figure out what it is. But I think
Yeah.
like I like her determination. She's
Yeah, I
very
mean,
resourceful, and you'll come to see.
yeah, to me, I mean, it's pretty obvious that she just wants, a seat at the table. So, but we'll see.
Live look at the fucking 1%.
Yeah.
Bale's over here trying to actually like save lives and stuff, and all these dignitaries are here to just spend money and party. That was also C-3PO.
Yeah. See, I was gonna ask you that. Like, was that actually him?
It was, yeah. Good manners.
It's good manners.
That's fucked up.
Dude, she burned him. I don't need manners when I'm talking to you.
He's a fucking menace, bro.
Yeah.
That kid looks sick. I didn't even notice him the first time. His head tattoo.
Oh no, yeah. I noticed that kid too. I was like, I like that they just threw him in there. I wish he would have got a line or two, but there's his cousin fiery going on right now. Oh yeah, that line right there. You never made a decision in your life. That's just every rich person.
That's too funny. I think people have also theorized that since she's force sensitive,
Yeah.
her force sensitivity kind of manifests in her ability to read people emotionally.
That's a good theory.
That's a good theory.
Yeah, because I was thinking.
Shaco Beast.
I was thinking.
She's so cute. I love her.
She's adorable. Her delivery is perfect. You could just see like she also takes traits from the parents as well. It's so awesome. But you also see a bit of Natalie Portman's character. Oh God, how am I blanking?
Yeah, Padme.
Padme, thank you. And it's always just been awesome too to see like the contrast of this world and Tatooine.
Yeah, we only knew. I love it. Yeah, it's too close.
I don't want to be a sinner. Facts.
I love that.
And it's interesting too, like she's still young, but she took it to heart, even though she knew she was right.
Yeah,
These two have such a good like they have legit like one scene together, and it's just like
their chemistry is so.
Giving me that Mahershala Ali and Little in Moonlight type beat.
I've always I've loved him ever since the prequels.
Yeah. Underrated.
And just seeing him come back to like reprise his role and do it so tender. And
he shows leadership in a very like gentle way.
Yeah, and you can see like that's where her compassion comes from.
Mm-hmm.
As a leader, because Bail Organa was always like, a leader. He was a good friend of Padme.
Yeah.
When they were alive.
Mm-hmm.
And what makes this all the more sad is like you were saying Tatooine, contrasting. Alderaan, we've only seen glimmers of this utopian world.
Right.
It's all the more tragic knowing that this is one of the first places to succumb to the rule of the Empire in A New Hope. This spoiler alert for those who never watched the original, Alderaan gets blown up. And it's kind of diving into this stuff just adds more context to the world. What's funny, I have to double check this too. That guy, the bounty hunter that's chasing her, that is Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
No kidding. I was wondering, I was like, why does he look so familiar?
And imagine how all these people feel. There have been so many celebrity cameos.
Oh, I know, yeah.
I think out of both these episodes, this is probably the worst part. This is like the goofiest fucking chase scene.
You know, it's funny you were saying that because I actually disagree. I was thinking the way that they, like, because I was like, how is this little girl outrunning them? But the way they did it where she's like going underneath things and like smaller little sections, I think that's why it works.
I think it's just, for me, it's just silly because the alien with the green face is like running into a branch that's clearly in front of them.
Yeah.
Tripping over. It just looks silly, but it's not the end of the world. But this right here.
I mean, things can be silly and still like work,
I think
so,
it doesn't ruin anything for me. It's just really silly.
It is silly, yeah.
But like,
and that's what we said too about the series is like it's that silliness. It works. It does. And also too, like I'm gonna take a shot at you older men who love Star Wars. Like you guys got to realize too, it's like kids watch this stuff too. Like it's not all for you.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. This right here, bro, changed the entire context of what the show's about. At least for now. And I was like, this is fucking. Sorry.
Yeah.
This is genius.
Yeah. And it was a clever way to make that shift too, because I think we all kind of thought like, oh, we're gonna see him on Tatooine, we're gonna see him like try to like watch Luke and like probably try to protect him, and like to have this switch, I thought was awesome.
Yeah, for me in the trailer, they showed clips of a city and a planet that we'll soon see, and we're sitting here like, why would Ben ever leave Tatooine?
Yeah.
And I was worried about what that would be. Now it makes sense. You're like, oh, that is how you set that up.
Yeah.
But he ain't right.
I thought that was harsh, and he's like, find someone else. I'm like, but then it's interesting too. It's like he's probably gonna be more invested in Luke than Leia because sexism and just you'd assume that the man is going to be the stronger one. In reality, we find out later that Leia is actually more of the leader. But
donk. After seeing so much of the salmon, I kind of want to try some. I'll stop by the Walmart after we're done filming this.
Oh my god! And what's nice too about, and this is what I'm saying, they get to use the acting chops of some of these characters. You see Ewan McGregor here; it's like his face. If you watch the first scene, it's kind of like, God, I hate this, like capitalism. Let me check in. Look at it now; it's kind of like, God, I hate this capitalism, but also like, did I make the right decision? Yeah. Am I being too harsh?
And
like,
for this to be kind of like that penultimate moment.
Yeah.
He's like,
this ain't right. Josh Safdie was his muse here to kind of make the right decision.
Bruh. Can I buy?
Please. Not today. Explain this little Star Wars detail to me. So the red means that someone had entered?
It's a security system. So the blue means it's all clear. Red means somebody else is there.
Yeah, okay. I thought that's what was the case. Again, like, the technology, it's there, and it's also not there. It's like simple technology.
There he is.
Yeah, that was risky.
It was very risky.
Yeah. The desperation in his voice. You're going to have to be the man I need,
Yeah, the dialogue here.
I do love that part too, because that's how, again, remember I was saying earlier my hesitation, like he kind of speaking for us and be like,
right
move
there,
on, come on, like
that dialogue. Oh wait a second, I want to hear this.
There's no one I more trust on my child than you. Beautiful.
Please, old friend. Yeah, just for him to say, you couldn't save Anakin, but you can save her, is like, ah! Knocking me out. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh God, my heart. You really think, even at the age of 10, you're gonna stop? Princess Leia,
Right, yeah.
or at least attempting to escape?
She's got that 1% education, bro.
For real, she's far more resourceful.
Yeah. You know, I was...
The fear in her voice.
Yeah, it's weird because like it's fear, but it's also sort of like strength of like we're gonna get through this. See? Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of you. What's this guy's name from Red Hot Chili Peppers? He's so terrifying. Flea, yeah, Flea. I was thinking too, like in my head, I'm like, Lola don't got a communication system, bro. Come on. He's so terrifying, honestly.
He's a good choice. Look at this. Look how sad she looks.
Oh my God, I know.
Yeah, dude, she's like the highlight of the show for me, right?
Pure baby. Oh, I love when that bass came in there, like boom, with the synth. So good. And you know what was about to happen right here. Yeah. Eopie grunting. That's what they're called.
Oh, it's just a Yopie.
Yopie.
Yeah, they're literally just camels and kneeling down the same way.
Yeah. Little cuter.
Facts. Yeah, they don't spit as much.
Got a little anteater face.
Mm.
You know, I was thinking in the back of my head too. I was like, how does he know where this is? And then I was like, it's got to be just a sense. It's got to be a force, you know?
Yeah.
And it's calling to him. And I was like, and that's how you know it's like he still got it inside, even if you don't want to admit it.
For sure.
Let me ask you a question too, just as like a Star Wars background thing. How is it not like literally insane for them to steal the senator's daughter? Like, even like, because in the order of how like the Empire runs and stuff, they still work with Alderaan, right?
At this point in time, it's the Imperial Senate, so it's not like they still work with. Yeah, you're right. They work within the Empire, and that's gonna.
So it's like very risky to make that move, right?
It
Like,
is.
yeah.
So when I saw this, I almost completely forgot that he had Anakin's lightsaber. So when I saw that, I was like, "Oh my God, that makes sense. You're right. This is beautiful, kind of like seeing that." And like, yeah,
Do you guys?
for Reva's character to kind of know this information just shows how crafty and resourceful she is.
Yeah.
And a lot of people like mad that she shouldn't know this stuff. I'm like, bro, who are you? You're not writing. It's all made up. It's
Right,
fiction,
yeah,
bro.
and it's funny because like I say that sometimes with you when we watch these, and I'm like, but you're like, dude, it's a galaxy far away. Like, there's so much happening. Like, doesn't mean she knows that. NWJ said, do you guys know if Liam Neeson is in the Obi-Wan series?
No idea yet. Can't say, but I have a good feeling he might be. They've referenced Qui-Gon a few too many times for me to believe he won't make some appearance.
Totally.
And I love that beautiful moment where it's like that person. I love when dialogue. First of all, seeing the lightsaber. Beautiful.
I'm back.
He's back. But like that little moment of like the ticket person being like, "Are you coming?" That dialogue kind of almost serving as like the audience asking, like, "Well, are you going?"
Right.
Like, I love that. So first episode, hats off to Deborah Chow, dude. Like, what a debut for like her own show.
Yeah, no, that was fantastic. Definitely gets you right back into the fold of things and just
So good. Yeah, just to reestablish like where we are, the tone, and just let's go. Like, hats off to her, man. Fantastic.
yeah. All right, we're gonna take a quick little break so we can get some snacky snacks.
Facts.
But we will be right back. Just give us one moment. 1 second. Drop that in the scene. Loop. Okay.
Oh man, it felt so good watching that again. It was so
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're doing episode 2 of Obi-Wan season 1. We just did episode 1. We're just getting a little snacky snack as we watch this
should have said it in the first episode, but
go ahead.
This is where the fun begins.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Yep. I think this is gonna be where like a lot of people fall in love with the series. This episode 2. The first one, nice hook, he gets you in there, but this one is gonna be just fantastic. So let's jump into this. Are you ready, Matt? Alrighty, here we go. Episode 2. I'll try to mute here and there, not to annoy you from my chewing.
Same, yeah. Woo.
I can't believe people skip these recaps. I'm like,
never, bro.
it's like,
I can never do it.
man, I'm like, my life is so busy. I'm like, I can't even remember what I just watched 5 minutes ago. Like,
Ah, man. Oh, no. One last fight.
whenever someone says old friend in Star Wars, you know they mean it.
Oh, facts, bro. You can't play around with that. Old friend. One thing that's interesting in this show is Obi-Wan never actually had his own theme in the so he's finally got one. I can look up who the composer is.
Very fitting.
Yeah,
I love this. Gave me like Harry Potter vibes.
Yeah, so John Williams did compose this, but Natalie Holt leads the score for the Obi-Wan series. Natalie Holt, she did the score for Loki, which I know you were a big fan of.
Yes, makes sense. Because that's what I said last episode. I'm like, yo, I actually like this modern take, but not that you didn't like it, but
I love this. First of all, I love looking up, seeing that like sign almost similar to the travel signs in our world. Like, what I love about sci-fi elements is when they just kind of take things from the real world and translate them in a new vision.
That's one of my favorite things in Star Wars is when they arrive to these little like obscure planets that like don't have, that we're not going to spend a lot of time on, but they're just vast and there's a lot of activity going on. And this little like transport like trade center is just like, I don't know, it's just right up my alley. I love it.
Yeah, this is
you got the Japanese inspired.
When I saw this, the text is it's called Urabesh or Arabesh. That's the language in Star Wars, which is super dope. When I saw this, first thing I was like, we need like a street level smuggler type video game. We need like a cyberpunk like video game for Star Wars. Like Cyberpunk basically kind of like is Star Wars in a way. And so never fails
to like blow my mind how like these ideas they just don't see. The vet.
This friggin' hurt, bro. And to see Tamora Morrison.
Yeah, that was amazing.
That was that moment. There was a.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say there's a moment here where I was like, "Is that clone gonna recognize Obi-Wan?" Because you gotta remember these guys fought side by side in the conflict.
No,
and the juxtaposition between the clone veteran that is asking for money and the stormtroopers that are marching, still serving the Empire.
Yeah,
just shows just the juxtaposition, the tragedy of how the clones were essentially almost victims in the war themselves.
Yeah.
even after they were used to kill the Jedi, they are as easily as discarded as those they were trained to fight against.
Yeah, and for me, that reminded me of in the sequel trilogy when we finally see effing 217 like take the helmet off. We're like, you know, like
this line right here.
Nobody leaves this place.
No, I was someone's daughter once too. That messed me up, bro. And to see like just that level of like it adds that writing just adds so much depth to this world, and just to think that like she has a story that we will never know about.
Right.
But she's not just some NPC that walks up and it's like, hello, welcome to be. Also, shout out to like the selling spice because the death sticks.
Yeah.
Shout out to those that remember. This guy.
Kumail is just the best. Like you insert him I don't know how it works, but like you insert him into worlds and it just works. It's so bizarre because he stands out so heavy, you know?
He's bizarre. I mean,
Don't say yeah.
This guy.
So when I saw this the first time, I'm like, there's something fishy about this guy, but also just like, if there wasn't something fishy, it's like, geez, how down on his luck is this like Jedi that like he's like reduced himself to this sort of work, like.
That's a good point. Yeah. Oh, I'm so that little bit right there.
He was like, "This ain't free, baby."
Thanks. He's all, you didn't have to.
These mother truckers landed in America, bro.
We'll never forget you. Please do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll die.
Dude, that's the type of humor that we like haven't really seen in this universe.
But I think it's better than what like a lot of people thought like the Marvel or Disneyfication humor was.
Oh yeah.
Like, the older and the sequel trilogy and the content that came out now, like we're kind of found like that happy medium.
Well, you see, to me, it's funny that they don't choose to hire comedians for comedic relief, and that's kind of why it works here. So. The lighting is so incredible.
This dialogue.
Oh my god. Goodness, that light is unforgivable. I thought that was one of the funnier lines.
And what I love is this is why you can put two experienced actors in a room together in the Star Wars universe. Like
he was actually like, to me, he was like one of the best parts of the Eternals.
For sure.
Doesn't even hesitate. I love the the character that's like, nope, I'm a coward. Like, I will not fight.
Here.
Yeah.
Just look at the reflections in the floor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
They really took inspiration from Blade Runner. You can see it's not even raining there, but just that little detail of the wet floors adds so much more dimension to the lighting.
The outfits in this.
Then, shout out, he's doing the beard thing, like
yeah.
Alec Guinness, like.
The outfits in this episode really and the costume work is like phenomenal, and they don't even really like focus in too much on it, but it just makes the world feel alive. That's what I'm saying.
100%. 100%.
Like, we're never gonna know this guy in the background story, and it's just like, he's so interesting. Like, who is this pink person?
Dude, this right here. It's like, what a great detail of just this underground, like, drug ring.
Yeah.
Star Wars. Friggin' Heisenberg Kenobi over here. Or Ben Heisenberg
Oh my
just
God.
walking through. The memes I saw off of this.
I haven't seen any memes yet.
So like, Anakin, we have to cook. It's like, bro, Obi-Wan's over here just in a, literally, a drug,
Yeah, it's like, bro, like,
drug ring, like, look at these
like,
goofy aliens. The guy's got
oh, I know,
on
yeah.
his head.
I was waiting for Pusha T to like show up here, bro.
Alright, so, shout out Clips. You said you order Diet Spice. That's a joke, right? You know you man.
I love how he has just like a terrible excuse. I lost my way. I was like, geez, that punch.
Yeah, he was not ready. Look at that. He still got the moves, baby. But he's not used to fighting. I like that.
Dude, that first punch I felt.
So the guy with the horns in his head, that's a Zabrak.
Mm-hmm.
Same race as Darth Maul.
Mmm.
Yep. Same species.
Oh, that's
Just
cool.
got different. Maul had red skin as opposed to
Mm.
green skin.
You watch a lot of action, so I'm curious what you think. Like, I've never seen someone knocked out, but like when I see someone just laying on the floor, I'm like, is that realistic? Like, just when you get hit, you're just like,
We'll have to fight on next live stream. Just
oh,
test it
Jesus, I don't fight. I'm a
out. Me
piece.
neither. That's why I'll be good. With this, I was like, oh god, like.
Yeah, how do we get out of this?
Yeah, he fell right into the trap. And you're like, oh shoot.
Right. Honestly, shout out to Flea too. Like, he seems like borderline schizophrenic / like crazy, but also just like a low level thug.
I love that. I'm just a man, you're bleeding all over.
Oh, that was so. To use the spice, genius. Totally forgot about it.
The spice and the respirator, like
Mhm.
that just right there was perfect. I love that. I love the line. Everybody's just a man. You just
You know,
Reva!
as this is going on in the back of my head too, I'm like, where's the Grand Inquisitor and all this? Because Reva's gone completely rogue.
I'm not gonna lie. I wish I was a Jedi just so Reva could hunt me down.
Jesus Christ.
Boom!
Where's the army? Just like, you know, I'm a princess. Where's my fucking army?
That's too funny. She's an absolute riot, bro.
Dude, she's so good. It's great. It's not like little kid good. Like, she's good.
Look at them. Her hair's like so braided up. It's sticking out of the hood. Should have sent the army. It's mad funny. They're all doped up right now.
Look like freaking Mass Ave, bro. Jesus.
She's supposed to sound like angry, but she sounded super cute right there. Like, where is he?
Seemed kind of old and beat up. What are you waiting for?
And she's like, bro, what did I just look at?
Okay.
I love the childlike wonder because like she's never been off of Alderaan before.
Oh no, yeah, and that's another great little added part that they did too. That like you saw in the first episode where she's like, yeah, literally, like
It's like we've done worse.
you've done worse. Jeez, what?
Yeah, it's the fourth sister. She's super cool. I'm excited to see more of her. Man.
Yeah, that was racially motivated. Shit.
Yeah, fast. It's like, it does not help. I love when like the evil guys don't work well together. Their ambitions
There's also this like
clash.
there's also this like you know that there's some history there that we're not seeing. So
Yeah. It's interesting seeing like the way in which they both go about trying to, hunt their Jedi. The Grand Inquisitor kind of like almost he's more of an inquisitor in the sense that he goes around questioning people, interviewing them. Kind of reminds me of Christoph Waltz from Inglourious Bastards, where it's like Reva's like, bro, Reva reminds me a little bit of Anakin in the sense of like tired of this, tired of like our
waiting and
tried methods. Like let's
strategy.
go
Yeah.
and just right in there and
what is
just use our force to draw the person out.
what is that on the Grand Inquisitor's ears? Is that like
It's just, I think it's like a hearing device or something. It was part of the original character design for Rebels, and this was smart. This was smart to get all the bounty hunters.
yeah?
My guy looks like a T-Rex, which is cool. I love how very diverse all these settings have been within this same world. It's the same city. Oh, she wants to put the bejeweled dress on. This part here. This part right here is like, you don't need the gloves. And then you realize she's not going to put them down. He's like, all right, I'll buy the gloves too.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Granddaughter.
Nothing.
She's so good.
Even the droid like knows to go after Obi-Wan.
Granddaughter, baby. Dude, I want to try that.
All right, bro. I want Star Wars street food.
I love this. Make me float. Because you can. Just classic little kid banter.
Exactly.
It's like, shoot a 3-pointer. I don't want to. Yeah, because you can't make one.
Man is not it.
Right, spitting facts. Like, how old are you?
You don't sound like you're 10. Thank you. I love her so much. This dynamic right here is like, bruh. I was geeking when I first saw this. I mentioned them over text. Like, this reminds me of Logan almost.
Of what?
Like, of Logan, of like an
Yeah.
Wolverine and like X-23 or whoever the little girl is.
Definitely. This little kid's too hilarious too.
That's bad funny.
It's like, we had him.
Yeah, that's funny. Oh, how embarrassing.
Just
Kind of reminds me of callback of how, wait, punch him in the face. A callback of how when Order 66 is called up, Commander Cody had just given Obi-Wan back his lightsaber, and in the comics there's a line where he's like, they couldn't have dropped the order before I gave him back his lightsaber.
Dude, we need to figure out who this actor is. He's so good.
The Grand Inquisitor or the fifth brother?
No, the brother.
Got you.
Reva's just rogue.
I'm even happier because I thought I have to wait till next Friday, and the fact I only have to wait till Wednesday.
Oh, I know, yeah. Yeah. I love a good and it's a long weekend too, so it's gonna feel even shorter.
Well, this is filmed like a movie, bro.
Oh yeah.
Like, this is so good.
Clever of them to do the first two together because they really do just work together.
Blend right into each other.
Yeah. That's such a Princess Leia line. She'll be alright. She's strong.
Man, Kobe died easy.
You don't have to call me that. I'm just Leia.
I actually didn't remember that my first watch through.
Oh yeah, no, I remember that was like it was bars.
That was a cute little moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like it's very clear that she does not want to be like in that 1% world, you know, which is why she's so perfect for like the leadership.
He's like, turn off the damn Ida. He's like, oop.
Answer.
She's so smart.
Oh no. This is how it's funny because in this moment, this is how, like, when they're running in the forest, this is how I felt in this moment, where I'm like, oh, but, like, it has to happen, because, like, she needs to, like, not trust him and then, like, gain his trust, and it's a great way to do that while also seeing the city. But I personally, like, I hate chase scenes, I really do, but this was needed. It makes sense. Like, look, you get to see, like, these, like aquatic creatures.
Yeah, and it's just kind of adding to this sense of fear that she's experiencing right now. She doesn't understand everything. For Obi-Wan to just pull out a gat and
Obi-Wan just like.
It just goes to show how times have changed, because he used to be like uncivilized, but now he's got a resort. And this shot from the trailer, like, oh.
Yeah, that's a beautiful shot. Well done.
Yeah, Deborah Cho put her full foot in this, man.
Yeah.
She cooking. I'm interested to see more of that Inquisitor, because I think she's much like Reva. She's only been seen in this show so far.
Oh, okay. So Reva's a new character?
Reva and the I think that's the fourth sister.
Yeah.
The one with the tentacles.
I think it's interesting, even with these like bounty hunters and street level folk, like the Grand Inquisitors, the Inquisitors, they still have this like power over them to like get them to be like, everyone get in line right now, you know?
And that's the thing about the dark side, is there's so much ambition that You know,
Yeah.
you need to be the answer to the Grand Inquisitor, but the Grand Inquisitor answers to Vader.
Right.
That's kind of like the big like.
Right. I have a feeling we might see Vader next episode.
I hope so, man.
And there's 6 total episodes, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, dude, the set design here is just incredible.
Oh
For
yeah.
this all to be done with the volume and like practical set design as well is like wild.
Yeah, man. I've been trying to like play with video editing myself and like get into this world, and like the level of detail it takes to shoot something like this is like it's remarkable how like well this looks. Like this looks real, you know. One of the great tricks to do is you jump from scene to scene, but what they do is they take their time with scenes, so it's like they really can't like have imperfections, but they just make it look so well done. That little jump she just did, that force jump was fire.
Now this too.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't realize like she wasn't trying to get to the ledge that was adjacent from her. She was trying to get to a higher ledge.
Right.
You realize like some people are like, why is she doing backflips?
No.
If she did a front flip, she would have pushed down too much on the thing she was running on.
Yeah.
She wouldn't have gotten as much height. So the backflip. This part right here, you're like, no, you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. You know we're about to see that force. I almost wanted them. Part of me, because again, we gotta see the force, but I almost wanted her to like hit the ground or something, no, just because then then Obi-Wan would have to really look himself in the face to be like, bro, it's time to put the big boy pants on.
Nah, this was that moment.
Oh, okay. Well, I said what I wanted to see, so go yourself.
I don't want to see a child get injured.
Yeah, I guess you could turn the news on for that.
Yeah, true. I don't want to see my escapism.
Yeah. You really are a Jedi. He's like,
you have to prove the kids. They can never believe you the first time.
Yeah. He's like, wait a minute. That tattoo on you that says Jedi, it's real?
Yeah. For real, Doug. Wait, this isn't like it's not a fruit roll-up tattoo?
Yeah.
See, many were Jedi who turned to the dark side. That's a key.
I never knew that. Later. Honestly, I never knew that.
Key that's gonna come back later.
Yeah, I never knew that Jedis turned over to be like stormtroopers.
No, not stormtroopers. Just the Inquisitors.
Oh, okay.
Look at this, man. Shout out to Haji. Mm. Sometimes. Someone's trying to goodbye.
You remember my name.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think he found like when he figured out he was in the presence of a goat, he was like, yo, time for me to like change my life path.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't know what you were, bro.
Yeah. You have no choice.
Yeah, better than whatever this is. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. He might have just been whispering. Okay.
You said you're not alone, but what?
I want to take... I'll talk about that in a second. Because I think he might have whispered that to him. And I'll tell you why.
Who might have whispered what to what?
I think Haji might have whispered Obi-Wan to Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if Leia heard him, and there's going to be a reason why I think that. It ties into continuity with A New Hope.
Okay.
This is funny. She's like, bro, what?
He's so ridiculous. You will not get it.
But you know one.
That wasn't Magnus, was it? Just takes it out. Yeah.
And that's a powerful ability. Like
I don't think we've seen that, have we?
We saw Kylo did that to what's his name?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But like
when he was doing it, he was like sweating, like she just was like
of an Inquisitor level, like
yeah.
Like, oh, that's why it's like Reva's different, bro. She built different.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be the
inquisiting people.
I love her. My heart, bro. No. It's your.
I'm sorry.
Your mother.
Yeah.
Your mother, Padme. Fuck. Oh, sorry.
It's all right. That one was warranted. It's all right.
It's hard, bro. There have been so many feels in these first 2 episodes. I'm like,
yeah, I know. Like I'm thinking him like, geez, you Star Wars hardos must have been like crying watching these first 2 episodes because like it's like they're giving you everything here.
nah, this is.
They're giving you everything, but also not a lot, so it's not like cheap, you know.
Yeah, dog.
It's real subtle.
The heart feels that they've pulled at, like, bravo. You could tell like people that love Star Wars made this.
Yeah.
And that's why I love this song. And I love is that he was ready, bro. He is ready. He's like, I have to do this.
I just love how smart she is too. Like it's just that's the best part. Because like especially with Princess Leia, it's like so much of her character is just implied.
Yeah.
And you get to see the root of where that's coming from. It's like, now it was always there. She's been a beast. Meanwhile, Luke is like, which is just classic boys versus girl.
Take you to him. He's like Vader.
Yeah, he didn't know. See,
She
that's
can sense it. She can sense it too.
yeah.
Your thoughts betray you.
Yeah, see, like, I've been wondering too, like, ever since that moment happened, I'm like, when is he going to realize that he's still alive?
Yeah, and just the fear in Ewan's face right here.
Mm-hmm.
What good dialogue too.
I
can stand the reek of your ambition no longer.
I just know we're gonna get a high ground scene at some point in the series, and you're gonna literally bust. Like.
Explode.
Jesus, I thought that was crazy. I was like, what?
Yeah, same.
Now you were telling me offline that like, what's the context of this character here? Like, because to me, I was like, whoa, Reva's like. Yeah. Nuts, but you were saying that the Grand Inquisitor in the what was it, the Clone Wars or Rebels?
Yeah, a lot of people were confused by this, but the Grand Inquisitor is the main antagonist of season 1 of Rebels, so there's no way he's dead. There's just no feasible way he died.
So, because those are canon with the whole series, right? So
we can discuss it shortly. Just to hold on to this moment here, because this is a very important moment in the episode. Yeah, just the shock in Ewan's performance here. Like, this is exactly how we imagined like we'd see Obi-Wan figuring out that Anakin's alive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and just to see that like Leia's like, what's going on? Like, what's wrong?
Yeah, she's like, you were very chill, and now you're freaking out.
And this, bro, to see Hayden in the second episode, I was like, nah, bro. In the tank, like, dog.
Yeah.
I was screaming at the end of this, bro. We ate, bro. Star Wars fan ate this weekend, bro. So bravo to Deborah Chow, man.
Wild.
To continue what you were saying, what were we talking about?
No, so my question for you was, where does this Grand Inquisitor fit into this world? Because you're saying that him being alive or him being dead here would not be canon with what's going on with the Clone Wars and Rebels.
So just Rebels. Clone
Okay.
Wars happened already. Clone Wars is between episode 2 and 3.
Okay.
Rebels is between 3 and 4. So it's kind of, but Rebels is actually between Kenobi and 4. Just to get a bigger picture. So Rebels, at this point in time, there is no rebellion. There is just the Empire. The Empire's kind of taken shape. And the Rebels, there's people just kind of band together, a few surviving Jedi and some unlikely heroes kind of band together and slowly go around the galaxy helping people form the rebellion, essentially.
Yep.
And the main antagonist of season 1 is the Grand Inquisitor.
Yep.
And then the Inquisitors, plural, are antagonists like through and throughout. So they're kind of like a big part of that.
Okay.
So the Grand Inquisitor presumably dying here completely shatters what happens in the first season of Rebels. And we know that Rebels isn't something that's just being like thrown out because the Ahsoka Tano series that's just started filming 3 weeks ago, and they've been talking about Star Wars Celebration, is actually has prominent characters from Rebels in the show. It'll be the next step of them becoming live action characters. So it leads me and a lot of fans that kind of know what's going on to believe that the Grand Inquisitor
could he not be dead?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's just, I believe he's incapacitated. He just got stabbed through the stomach. We've seen, what's her name? We've seen, who's Boba Fett's sidekick's name? Forgot.
Go ahead, keep going. I'll look it up.
We've seen the bounty hunter that hangs out with him. She got shot in the stomach.
Yeah.
And had like her whole insides reworked.
Fennec?
Fennec Shand. Yeah, Fennec Shand got shot in the stomach. Had her whole like stomach reworked, and she's fine. Darth Maul got cut in half.
Yep.
And he came back. So like, it's Star Wars. It's fiction. I think that's more of like, the way I've been thinking about it is continuity. What I've grown over the years is like with Star Wars, that continuity is important, but also the story comes first a lot of the time, as long as the story doesn't break things too much. And you could argue that this might break it a little bit, but I think for the story, the Grand Inquisitor is going to be incapacitated. This is less of like her killing the Grand Inquisitor. This is more of her moment showing her defiance towards the Grand Inquisitor and like how passionate she is about owning this moment. Being the one to kill or capture Kenobi.
I mean, would it really, throw a hole or curve in this if they just said, hey, he's dead? Like, or is he really that important that it's like he can't be?
No, he can't be dead. It's feasibly he can't be dead.
So then why? So I guess like you're saying, the only real reason is just to show her defiance in this moment.
Yeah, I think he's alive. It's more of just like she tried to kill him. She's not going to be successful in it, and he's going to come back and be like,
"I'm back." Yeah.
And he's gonna be like, "Hey," but like in the meantime, I think she's gonna frame it as Obi-Wan killed him, and that Obi-Wan tried to kill him, and then she fought him off and tried to stop him or something. So the rest, so she'll be in charge. I think she's gonna assume power of the Inquisitors for the time being, as the Grand Inquisitor recovers. And she's like, she believes he's gonna be dead, but they might bring his body back and then find out, oh, homeboy is alive. And he's like, you can't kill me that easily, you goober.
I'll say one thing about Star Wars. That's the one thing that I never quite understood, and I think is weird that people come back all the time. But you know, that's why we're on this ride to see where it ends, how they get there, how they take us there, and I
think that's, out of everything that's happened, I think that's the only clunky thing in the first 2 episodes, just because like.
But I mean, you explained it, right? I mean, like we've seen like Princess Leia like outside and no oxygen, and so it's like.
Well, that's a whole nother can of worms.
Right.
In this instance, it was done for a drama. I think, as most things usually are in these type of mediums.
I gotta say too, for me as like, you know, a casual Star Wars fan, I think I don't, and this is a criticism I have too with Marvel sometimes, is I don't think it's necessary to, like, I know Rebels is what it is, and I don't think it's necessary to have to like try to connect everything all the time. Like, I think sometimes you can just like allow the live action to be live action, cartoons to be cartoons. Like, that could be its own canon. This could be its own canon. Because then you're gonna start to fall into this like plot hole thing, and also like you have to honor the decisions of a past creator and not make your own choices and decisions. But I mean, I'm not saying that it won't be, you know, well done. I'm just saying personally, like, I think that it's just an unnecessary kind of rule that a lot of Hollywood has stuck to.
Yeah, so potentially you're potentially restricting yourself. What I like about what Star Wars has done is that they're not, they don't adhere to the canon of everything. And a lot of, example being in the Ahsoka Tano book that came out as part of Rebels season 2, because she plays a prominent role in that. In the book, it's supposed to kind of detail what was happening, what was going on with her from where we last saw her, because at that point in the Clone Wars show, when she appears in Rebels, Clone Wars had been canceled, and one of the last bits of Clone Wars we saw was Ahsoka Tano leaving the Jedi Order, and we don't know what happened to her. So the book kind of details, like, fills in the blanks of what happened. But when Clone Wars season 7 got announced, and that they actually were going through and making it, even though that book was canon, their decisions, their storytelling in the show was different from some of the bits of the book. And they were like, screw it, the book's no longer canon, it's just an interpretation. So that's not like a micro. Obviously it's bigger when it comes to TV. And if they show up tomorrow and be like, hey, the Grand Inquisitor in Rebels is different than the one you saw, that's totally possible, but that's also really lame. It'd be kind of like bad storytelling. And I think that
it's also just not consistent with what they've done.
It's not consistent. So I'm interested to see what they do.
Let me move on to one more thing. So there was a moment that you said that you were going to remember and talk about, which you did not. Do you remember?
There's still time.
There's limited time, but it was the part where
I don't remember.
Yeah, I know. It was a part about you said that not the whisper. The whisper. You didn't mention that part either. You're like, I'm gonna come back.
So the whisper thing is a lot of people are theorizing because what's interesting is Leia names her son Ben. Ben Solo, and a lot of people are like, why would she name Kylo Ren Ben, or like her son Ben, when she like only knew Obi-Wan Kenobi for like 2 minutes in A New Hope. Now this adds a whole different context to it because he's met Ben and she knows him by Ben.
Interesting.
And the reason why I was like Obi-Wan, like maybe Haja whispered that to him. And maybe this theory can still exist. It's like a headcanon almost that a lot of people are having. That when she sends Obi-Wan Kenobi the message in A New Hope, she says, "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. You know, you fought with my father in the Clone Wars." She doesn't mention like, "Hey, you saved my life on when I was
Right.
kidnapped.
Right.
But like the belief is that she's talking to Obi-Wan Kenobi, and she doesn't know that he's Ben.
Because she's so young, she just thinks like, oh, this guy Ben helped save me.
But remember, Luke doesn't know Obi-Wan is Obi-Wan. Luke knows him as Ben Kenobi, and he thinks he's related to him or something.
It could also be, I mean, call me crazy. It could just be that, you know, she's shared these war stories about Ben with him too, and
the only reason why but Luke knows him as Ben through like a New Hope when he's because he's living on the farm. He's
right.
But what's interesting is when he goes to the Death Star and saves Leia, he says, "I'm here with Ben Kenobi." And she's like, "Ben Kenobi?" And you're like, so there's almost like in her delivery of that, it almost implies that holy cannoli,
like
the guy who saved my life as a kid is here.
Right.
So that alone, like that little headcanon, like it might not be perfect. So that's why I'm like, I kind of.
It could be you guys just reaching. Could be reaching.
It could be.
But yeah,
it's a great reach.
But it's fun. It's fun. It's fun.
Right there. It's in grabbing distance.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
But that's why it's like sometimes in TV, they whisper, but they don't really whisper.
Yeah.
Maybe loud enough for the people to hear. So I'm like, maybe Leia didn't catch that.
Yeah.
He said he mentioned.
I mean, it could also just. Yeah, I mean, it could also just be too, like, even if we said Obi-Wan, she's, like, stressed out, like, they're getting chased, like, she didn't hear him, like, she's just like, what's this conversation about? Get it on, like, let's keep moving, so.
And there's still time for, someone to blatantly call him Obi-Wan Kenobi in front of her and, like, blow my entire theory up, but, like, who cares? It's fun.
No, yeah, exactly.
So, I like that, but the reality of the situation is, even if she does know he's Obi-Wan, and the Obi-Wan Kenobi, help me, or my only hope dialogue isn't as clean now with this context.
Yeah.
It now means a lot more that she went on to name her son Ben.
Yeah,
of
course.
Than it did before.
Yeah, and regardless, even if she did know him as Obi-Wan, it's like, maybe she didn't want to call her frigging kid Obi-Wan. She wanted to call him Ben, which he was also known as. So it's like, it still adds to the...
It's more so that it didn't seem like Leia knew him at all in A New Hope. Now it adds so much more context.
Right.
Like,
yeah, that's true. Yeah. Or it could just be a plot hole. So who knows?
But those are fine.
Yeah, exactly. But all right, so that's what we got. Episode 1, Episode 2. We will be back on Thursday to discuss Episode 3 to see what's going on. I believe we'll be joined by our other Marvel expert of What's Next, Corey. So that should be fun. Matt will be back. I don't know if he'll be on Tatooine this time. We'll see. But hopefully I get an invite. Maybe I can just join the party. But thanks, man. Anything else?
I'm traveling too much with all these inquisitors. I keep it low key,
Yeah. All right, man. So we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you. Take care.
May the force be with you.
May the force be with you. And remember, just be you.